The humid Georgia air hung heavy, thick with the scent of honeysuckle and impending rain. The atmosphere was almost suffocating, as if the very air itself was warning of the storm to come. Cedartown, a town where everyone knew their neighbor, prepared for a night like any other. The streets were quiet, with the soft murmur of conversations and the occasional laughter echoing through the air. But for one family, the world was about to shatter. The Millers, who had always felt safe in their home, were about to face a nightmare. The Millers, a pillar of the Cedartown community, became victims of a brutal home invasion. Their sense of security was shattered as intruders broke into their home, leaving chaos in their wake. Their peaceful evening ripped apart by violence. The once serene household was now a crime scene filled with fear and confusion. Local shop owner Tom Robinson, a man known for his kindness and generosity, was arrested. The community was in shock, unable to believe that someone they trusted could be involved in such a heinous act. The charge, a crime he didn't commit. As the trial began, the town was divided, with some believing in Tom's innocence and others convinced of his guilt. The truth, however, was far more complicated than anyone could have imagined. The trial moved quickly, almost too quickly for anyone to grasp the gravity of the situation. Whispers of the crime, already painting Tom as guilty, spreading like wildfire through the courtroom. The prosecution presented a narrative, flimsy and riddled with holes, yet persuasive in its simplicity. They painted a picture that was hard to ignore. An eyewitness, shrouded in the darkness of that night, placed Tom at the scene. Their testimony, though questionable, was taken at face value. The jury, swayed by fear and uncertainty, delivered a guilty verdict. Their decision was influenced more by emotion than by fact. Tom, his face etched with disbelief and terror, was sentenced to life behind bars. The weight of the verdict crushed him. His pleas of innocence fell on deaf ears. No one seemed willing to listen to his side of the story. Justice, it seemed, had failed. The system that was supposed to protect the innocent had instead condemned an innocent man. Years passed. Tom, now a number instead of a name, clung to hope. On the outside, a young law student, driven by a thirst for truth, stumbled upon his case. This student saw what others had missed: the inconsistencies, the coerced testimony, the lack of concrete evidence. This wasn't just about one man's freedom, it was about justice itself. The student dug deeper, unearthing police reports, re-interviewing witnesses. Slowly, painstakingly, a different story began to emerge. Tom endured the nightmare of prison. The clanging bars, the stifling routine, the ever-present despair. He missed birthdays, holidays, the simple joys of a life he was wrongly denied. His family, their pain echoing his own, fought tirelessly for his release. Each visit, each letter, a painful reminder of what was lost. But even in the darkness, a flicker of hope remained, the unwavering belief in his innocence. Armed with new evidence, the young law student, now a seasoned attorney, took Tom's case. The courtroom became a battleground for truth. The prosecution, their case crumbling, clung desperately to their flawed narrative. The truth, like sunlight piercing through cracks, became impossible to ignore. The eyewitness recanted, revealing the pressure applied by investigators. The forensic evidence, re-examined with modern technology, pointed to a different perpetrator. In a world where the scales of justice often tip unfairly, we must confront the harsh realities of our legal system. After years of wrongful imprisonment, the courtroom erupted in cheers as Tom was finally exonerated. His family, friends, and supporters celebrated this long-awaited moment of justice. But the scars of injustice ran deep. The years lost, the emotional and psychological toll, and the stigma of wrongful conviction are wounds that may never fully heal. How many others, innocent and forgotten, languished behind bars? The overcrowded prisons are filled with stories of despair and hopelessness, where the innocent suffer alongside the guilty. Tom's story is a stark reminder of the fragility of freedom, the devastating consequences of a system that can fail so profoundly. His release is a beacon of hope, but also a call to scrutinize and reform the system. It's a call to action, a demand for reform, a plea for a justice system that truly lives up to its name. The voices of the many must rise to demand change, to ensure fairness and equity for all. What will you do to ensure that justice prevails? Will you stand up, speak out, and join the movement for a more just and equitable society? The power to change lies within each of us. Don't forget to like and subscribe to 0 Hour Files. Thank you for watching.